how do we know this is what Jesus looked like? Because last I checked, no one really knows what he looks like. Even the Bible didn't give us a physical description. And the crazy thing is that this picture is one of the most recognizable in the world. First off, that is definitely not what Jesus looked like. I mean, this is the Latino looking guy. Jesus was Jewish. In fact, all the pictures we have seen of Jesus is probably incorrect. But let's really talk about it. Jesus, who is known by Christians as the central figure, the Son of God, and the Savior of humanity, lived around 6 to 4 BC and 30 to 33 AD. So basically around the 1st century. And during that time, people from Judea, which was the part Jesus was from, were thought to have had brown skin, dark eyes, and short curly hair. So he definitely didn't have that long hair and beard and a nice white skin that we see nowadays. Now, how do we know this? From early Egyptian mummy portraits of Judean men between 80 and 120 AD, 1st century again, also Roman coins around that time, and other historical references of how men from Judea looked like. And we can draw a conclusion on how Jesus looked like from that because it was mentioned that he looked ordinary, like every normal person in that time. Like in the case of when the soldiers came to get him from the Garden of Gethsemane and needed Jesus to point him out from the crowd of other Judean men, for you Bible scholars. And Jesus definitely didn't have a long beard, because keeping a long beard in ancient Judaism means you are keeping a special vow and not drinking wine. And Jesus was accused of drinking wine. Some might say too much. But to give you guys a picture you can work with, here's what historians believe Jesus might have looked like. And also, Jesus probably has 6 packs. Like he probably has sexy abs. Again, we know this because he was a carpenter and constructor by trade. So he was handy and was used to manual labor. And he didn't eat much. He and his disciples mostly lived on hospitality and charity of other people. They shared food a lot and they worked a lot. So yeah, he wasn't muscular as some paintings on the cross make him out to be. But he was probably skinny and a bit fit. And also those long robes you think he used to wear. Nah, because those long robes at that time were seen as female clothing. So he probably wore a short woolen tunic, according to historians. Something like this. So I think I painted a very good picture of what Jesus might have looked like. And I know some of you are not having it, but reality is often disappointing. But I still want to give a little more insight on why or how the more recent pictures of Jesus look like this. You see, because there was never really a physical description of Jesus in the Bible, people have more or less pictured Jesus how they feel he should look like, or how the culture was at that period of time. In the 1st century, long hair on men was considered inappropriate, but around the 4th century, Jesus was being painted with long hair and beards, similar to popular philosophers at that time, because he was considered a wise teacher. And the picture of Jesus having a long beard and Latino look was really set in stone with famous paintings during the Italian Renaissance period, like the Last Supper painting by Leonardo da Vinci. So yeah, people have just pictured Jesus how they feel he should look like. Like, how do you want to speak to people that this guy saved the world? Bruh. That's why you see sometimes people draw him as light, sometimes with white and red robes, maybe as a white Caucasian guy, stuff like that. And no, Jesus wasn't black. Come on.